Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast, and I believe Game 2 in a best of 3 matchup between WhiteRa and BratOk here on Metalopolis. So we have BratOk, spawning at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have WhiteRa spawning over here at the 12 o'clock position as the green Protoss player. So this is going to be another Terran versus Protoss matchup. Now we'll see how the players respond after the very first game. BratOk losing Game 1 in this best of 3 matchup. Will BratOk be able to force a Game 3, or will WhiteRa take Game 2 and make it a clean sweep? Now, a couple people have been wondering if I ever plan to go to the 1080p resolution for some of my videos. And to be honest, I don't think I will be for quite some time. Number one, the resolution difference. A lot of you guys have been telling me that you guys really don't view or watch the videos at 1080p, and usually 720 is good enough. The real difference between 720p and 1080p isn't that large. However, the file sizes for me would be much larger. I think the file sizes would then start to max up around like 400 megabytes per 10-minute segment. Now that may sound very little, but on average I upload 8 to 10 videos a day, so that would be almost close to 4 gigs that I would need to upload, as opposed to the 1.5 to 2 gigs that I'm uploading every day right now. So unless I start getting a better internet connection as well, probably not going to be doing that. Also, one of the reasons why I can get these videos out to you so quickly is that I don't need to do any additional editing on these videos from my software. So that allows me to move around a little bit more and get a little bit more flexibility in terms of how I want my videos to look. And if I was to go to 1080p there, I would have to start editing the videos a little bit, because it would capture some of my desktop before the beginning of every single game. Zealot now being created with Chrono Boost, so WhiteRa not getting that cybernetics core yet, and getting double gateway, so WhiteRa pushing off with a very heavy double gateway build. And that because BratOk did not block off that front wall, this is going to be looking very bad for him, as those zealots will just be able to run up that ramp. Cybernetics core now finally coming into play, and I'm expecting a very heavy rush from WhiteRa into BratOk space. There is a single Marine additional unit still being produced, so a Marauder now being produced as well, but a Zealot and a Probe going to be coming in, perhaps trying to take down some of these buildings, but that Marine sitting in a very comfortable position with that supply depot being able to lower and raise and lower, will be able to push back out. So taking a look back over here, Probe still sitting in that main, and now we have a SCV coming back around. Secondary or third pylon now being warped in, as we now have sentries and stalkers joining the army. Down goes that Probe, so Peppy the Probe getting taken down. One of you guys have been wondering what I wanted to name the other workers, and I think I did decide on Stevie the SCV and then Daisy the drone, just because supposedly all the Zerg units are supposedly female, because it's more of a hive. So if it's a female, you gotta represent that. So I think it's gonna be Daisy the drone and Stevie the SCV. So in comes a couple. Ghost Academy. So Ghost Academy now being put down. Taking a look at this, only a single barracks with a tech lab. So only going to be able to produce ghosts or marauders one at a time. Marines, however, off of that reactor core, able to mass up. We'll see how this is really going to work out for him, as there's 3 marauders and 3 marines sitting off on that high ground. Taking a look at the units, units right now, 26 probes compared to 20 SCVs, a couple of zealots. Taking the losses right now, only 1 unit lost. How can you have 0? Oh, that probe was one of the starting probes, so that's why there's no resources lost. Anyways, coming back over here, another pylon being warped in, and wow, a Twilight Council being warped in by these steam vents. So very nicely done, WhiteRa, trying to make sure that Stevie the SCV will not be able to figure out what exactly the builds are. BratOk now coming around with this SCV, just trying to leave it down there for Steve to die when WhiteRa decides to finally push out, giving WhiteRa a little bit of additional sight. Taking a look back over here, as a Stalker now just going to be coming down, perhaps getting into position, a little bit of move and attack. Going to go ahead and chase down Stevie the SCV down to 5 hit points, trying to get away, and the Stalker, there it goes. So nice long distance laser attack taking it down. Marines and Marauders with a single Ghost in the mix as well. So that's a very, very strong infantry force, and I respect BratOk for trying to go not mass Marauders this whole entire game. Additional warp gates now being warped in as an additional pylon. Only a Twilight Council with Zealot charge. I do not see a Dark Shrine anywhere, and I think that was an additional unit lost by... Oh yeah, the SCP was taken out, and then an additional probe was taken out. 2 Ghosts along that back side, trying to give enough room in between those 2 units to make sure that perhaps there are no... that those Ghosts are not spotted. If those Ghosts are spotted, that's going to be much more difficult. WhiteRa sitting with a Sentry. Should probably get a Sandra Sweep. Yeah, Sandra Sweep now coming in. Ghosts, perhaps we're going to get an EMP Shockwave. Let's see if that EMP Shockwave is in fact going to come in. Nice EMP Shockwave. And now BratOk coming in with a really, really strong force. Now trying to use the... are we going to get another Stim Pack or another EMP Shockwave? Yeah, another EMP Shockwave, but not really hitting as many units as it really needs to. Zealots really just running into the rest of this army. And those Zealots with that charge able to really just dominate the force here. Taking a look at the units lost, 16 units lost and 1,300 resources versus WhiteRa's 600 resources. So this is a very, very devastating change. Ghost perhaps should have been using Snipe as well. Could probably turn around and try to snipe down one of those units. But wow, what a change in this game. Just mass Zealots for the win in order to just make this game very, very short. SCVs now coming off that line, trying to get a little bit better production or protection, getting those Zealots to stop attacking those main units, and this is just not looking good for BratOk. Even though a couple nice EMP Shockwaves did in fact hit, still not enough. No Reaper harassment, and nothing that really BratOk can do at this stage in the game. And I think it's going to be GG very shortly. Yeah, taking a look at the income, there's only, 8 Harvesters left compared to 27, and that's going to be it, as there's still plenty of Zealots, Stalkers, and a single Sentry in that base. And a Bunker now going to get taken down, and BratOk just laughing at the situation, calling GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 in this best of 3 matchup. It looks like WhiteRa will be advancing.